Welcome to a story of deception, betrayal, and the chilling thin line between love and obsession. Best wishes as you dive into this world of suspense. A story that will grip you until the very last word. The first time I saw her after months of silence, my heart almost betrayed me. Sarah, my once fiancée, walked into the cafe like she owned the room, all effortless charm and dangerous calm. But I felt nothing. Nothing but the cold clarity of knowing she had invested herself somewhere else while I had given her my world. I had left her months ago, after discovering her heart wasn't mine alone. She had been emotionally entangled with another man, someone I had never met, but whose shadow had been looming over our love. The memory of that night, the confrontation, the tears, the resigned "I can't choose you," still burned in my mind. I had packed up my life and moved, believing distance would erase the mess she had made of my heart. But the universe, it seemed, had other plans. Within weeks, Sarah moved into the same city. Coincidence? Maybe. But the eerie precision of it unsettled me. I first noticed her presence in small ways. A reflection in a cafe window. A shadow that lingered when I walked my dog. A familiar laugh echoing down the street. At first, I dismissed it. Paranoia. Memories. Yet, as days turned into weeks, the signs became too consistent to ignore. I realized she was not just in the city. She was following me. Not overtly, not with obvious confrontations, but subtly, meticulously, like a predator studying its prey. I didn't panic. I couldn't. Panic would reveal my fear, and she thrived on it. I decided to observe, quietly, from the shadows. That's when I noticed the first anomaly. My apartment mailbox, slightly ajar, a note tucked inside with no words, only a single photograph of me leaving work. My pulse raced, but I forced calm. She wanted to unsettle me, and I would not give her the satisfaction. Then came the hidden footage. It started as an accident. While clearing out an old storage unit, I found a small, inconspicuous camera embedded in a decorative plant I had left months ago. At first, I thought it irrelevant, a forgotten trinket. But when I powered it up, my breath caught. There she was, Sarah. Not simply passing by. Not merely observing. She was orchestrating interactions, meetings with people I knew professionally, subtly inserting herself into my work life. At first, it seemed benign, almost comical. But as I watched, minute by minute, the pattern revealed a darker story. She wasn't trying to win me back. She was setting a trap to ruin me. She whispered into phones I didn't recognize, exchanged folders of documents with colleagues under the guise of casual conversation, laughed in ways that suggested a private victory. My world, the career I had built painstakingly over a decade, was suddenly vulnerable. And she was the architect of its collapse, every movement choreographed with precision. I felt a surge of anger, fear, and disbelief. But there was no time for emotion, only strategy. She believed I was oblivious. She believed her subtlety was foolproof. She didn't know I had seen everything, and that ignorance would be her undoing. I began my countermeasures quietly. I analyzed her routines, her contacts, her every predictable impulse. Every time she met someone new, I left subtle, untraceable trails, anonymous tips, carefully leaked documents, digital breadcrumbs that would turn her plans against her without exposing my hand. Every meeting she thought secret, every whispered plan, I converted into a weapon. Yet the suspense of living this double life, appearing oblivious while orchestrating my silent retaliation, was intoxicating and terrifying. I felt my pulse in every shadow, every passing stranger's gaze. Sleep became a scarce luxury. But then came the moment that changed everything. One evening, I followed her to a downtown office she had no legitimate reason to enter. She met with a man I had never seen. Someone whose smile carried malice as much as charm. I recorded everything from a distance, every word, every exchanged envelope, every subtle nod. They laughed at some cruel joke, a plan to leverage confidential files, to manipulate colleagues and clients alike, to topple my professional credibility. I had the evidence, every interaction, every hidden move. But confrontation wasn't my strategy. I would let her continue believing she controlled the narrative. I would let her sink deeper into her own scheme, while I stayed invisible, untouchable, omnipresent in her blind spots. Days turned into weeks. She grew bolder, sending subtle threats, messages designed to provoke, attempting to elicit a reaction. But I remained a calm ghost in her storm. Every time she thought she had me cornered, she only played into my plan. The suspense was unbearable, a psychological chess game, where one wrong move could expose me, ruin everything, and hand her victory. Then the final act began. I orchestrated a professional scenario, a meeting she would attend unknowingly, with everyone who had been complicit in her manipulations present. I leaked selective information, carefully curated to ensure she could not manipulate perception anymore. And when the moment came, she realized the walls had closed in. Colleagues confronted her, documents surfaced, her schemes unraveling before her eyes. Every subtlety I had allowed to unfold hitting its mark. She looked at me then, the first time in months, and I saw the flicker, fear, disbelief, the silent acknowledgement that I had always been one step ahead. She had underestimated me. Her obsession, her need to control, her belief that she could destroy me. All of it crumbled, and I walked away. Calm, collected, victorious, without a word. Months later, I still see her occasionally, a shadow in the city. But now the tension is gone. I know the danger has passed. The suspense that once haunted my days has transformed into triumph. The love that was stolen, the betrayal that cut deep, all repurposed into a silent, unstoppable strength. I have reclaimed not just my life, but the knowledge that some obsessions, no matter how meticulously planned, are doomed when faced with quiet, unwavering strategy. Sarah had believed she could manipulate emotions, careers, reality itself. She had believed I was naive, unaware, and vulnerable. She had been wrong. And that is the cruelest, most satisfying truth of all.